อยากให้ไฟแดงนานกว่านี้เนาะ
ระดับหนึ่งเลยแหละการแข่งขันระดับ
บูมใจได้ค่ายมาไล่ให้หมดสำหรับผู้ชมที่ชมอยู่ตอนนี้นะครับอย่าลืมกดไลค์กด Subscribe Channel ให้ด้วยนะครับและติดตามการสตรีมของผมได้ที่ sooflight.com ครับลิงก์อยู่ด้านล่างครับ
on that B side when he's peeking out, right? Has to disconnect from it, leaving Clues on 8 HP there.
โอ้โหดูพิมพ์ดิ
Good grasp on it. Like I like the idea from him. When he gets the damage, he disconnects. But the way that they play that 2 versus 2 at the end there, it's not on the back of any util. Getting a good crossfire, looking for the flash. The fact that also XDL is still alive in that scenario, right? As soon as you bring it down to the 2 versus 1 and you know where your opponent is, I mean, 100% of the time you would generally expect that kill contract just to 100% the remainder of that round.
ถ้าเล่นเบสออฟวันไม่ชิบหายเลย
Now we got a quicker plate for Rubble Control from TLN, but it can be met by 10-10 and Sugar Zero.
Still, yeah, they are very close by. Primy will instantly get the heck out of dodge, but still, Sugar Zero pushing out, taking the initiative.
ตายพี่นั่นแหละสวยตายสวยตายเอาอีกตายเอาสวยตายสวย
All shut down towards Rubble.
พอเสียงทารอน
Stomp onto TLN.
Yeah, that's just a good counter flash to come out from Sugar Zero, going for the push, getting dirty with the jewels, and then having the support from the rest of your team behind you as well, right? Because as soon as you start to see TLN disconnect from that angle, ZETA just have all numbers there. They have the bodies to just take the fight, so they don't complicate things any further. Everybody just having the guns up, 10-10 lining them up. That's a little bit unlucky for Jit Boys and Thai there.
Look at that man in the background.
Love to see it. Love to see this.
A rare sight, if I might add, but this is definitely a welcome one. I know Paper Thin is cheering like that somewhere. But that said, yeah, I hate to say it, but you might need to see a little bit more from TLN, maybe even the timeout at some point. But nonetheless, right now, from the shadow straight into the A site, it's only Shota here. So if they can shut him down, they will be able to extend their reach.
เช็คหน่อยดิ
That's good on the
เช็ค
saturate.
หน่อยดิพี่ชายเช็คหน่อยดิ
Too far to be able
เฮ้ย
to come out and drop just
เหี้
yet.
ยละ
Oh, and 10-10 as well as Clues have already made their way on towards heaven,
นั่น
so
ไง
you gotta
ไม่
watch
มีใคร
out.
เช็คเลยเหรอ
Shota swings out. Does he use the ult? He's trying to prevent them from getting the spike planted. Still, Clues off of the heaven peak will be able to find the
ไอ้รู
double.
เฮียนี่เก็บไว้ทำไมเนี่ย
As well as Killua. Weaponry not quite supporting them. They are kind of far away, trying to hop back into sight, but Sugar Zero denies entry. Just Cruz to play for the post plant, but XDL spots him out with the salvos being sent over. ZETA have completely locked TLN down.
ZETA are locked in on this defensive side. That is for sure. Superior weaponry into that round as well.
จ่ายของแต่ไม่เดินเข้าไปเอามันหน่อยวะ
You would say in
ทั้งสัตว์
knowing that
เน
TLN
ย
faster for that rubble control.
ขอเสียงคนที่
Shota in drop as well. He gets a free kill. From then on out, it's good distraction, right? Clues is using the drone, getting the information, and then you've just got numbers advantage from ZETA that they don't overcomplicate things and just have their guns out ready. You know, these past couple of rounds, we've really just seen ZETA focus in on the crosshairs, not overcomplicate things with a lot of that utility. It's been kind of nice and kind of a good treat to see that they are hitting their shots in map number 1.
ไม่มีกูมีบทแค่นั้นแหละ
They're starting to push
เอา
out
เสีย
a
งคนที่
lot
พอ
more for the
คง
retakes.
ไปหากันเอาเองนั่น
Talon conversely
คนไหน
definitely feeling the sting of defeat.
อย่างนั้นอ่ะ
กูแค่อยากจะมาเมม
We're gonna
เฉ
look
ย
to see
ๆเพราะ
in
หลั
this
งจากพูด
round
แล้วกูต้อง
from
เมม
Talon
เหมือน
to try and answer back and hopes to get an 8-4 half. An operator is going to be back out for 10-10. Currently
พี่หนุ่มโพ
a
ส
bit
อะ
quiet in where its location is.
ไม่ต้องรอทามมิ่งในการพูดนะกูจะไปเยี่ยวก็ไม่ได้ไปลุ้นอยู่ เมื่อไหร่จะพูดอ้าว
XDL's just going to catch him when he comes out of the drone and can't get his gun. So that's just good isolation fights that you take an advantage for the 5 versus 4.
Unfortunate scenario for Cruz, but still the team decides to press on once again into the A site. It's been tough to read how ZETA are setting up their
โอ้โหไอ้
defenses,
เหี้ย
but
มันเก่ง
still
จังวะเซต้า
onto the trades.
หรือถ้ารอนกากเนี่ย
And if you want to buy some more time here,
ขวาเฮ้ย
you
พี่มี่
can just drop your ultimate.
พี่มี่
His Primi's sneaking in.
สวย
He's found Shota
พี่มี่เอาให้พี่หน่อย
not able to
เอา
establish
พี่ห
the
น่อย
trade.
สวย
And with the saturate as well, Clues
ดี
will dodge it.
พี่มี่
But
ดี
nonetheless,
พี่
it
มี่
is
ไหล
two
ติด
players
กัน
close by. Clues is prepared. Primi
เห็น
still good for the
พี่มี่
heads up.
ส
Off to the
ว
next
ย
one. Finds his target.
Needed to see somebody on Talon feel like come out and
เฮ้ย
just
ยิงอะไร
stomp
เฮ้ย
on this round.
เฮ้ยมึงลวนอะไรวะเนี่ย
For anyone to do so quick, it was Primi. Do you give Sugar Zero though an inch in this round?
No way. He might
อ้าว
take
เฮ้ย
a mile if you do just that.
อันตีแม่งเลย
At least will
อันตีเลย
spot out, so it allows for Primi and Thai to set up somewhat of a crossfire. With a flash sent over, Thai instantly spots his opponent.
Yeah, nicely done from Talon when they recognize that they can get the spike down and they know where Thai's coming from. Oh, where Thai's coming from at the end there. It makes it a little bit more difficult. So, hey, at least good to see that Talon get on the board again in this round. It's been, just a couple of rounds there, 3 in a row from Zeta Division already. A good half, you would say. But that's one of these other rounds, right? It's a 4 versus 5 conversion. This time going Talon's way. You've got to be a little bit more careful as Cruz, not to just expect from Zeta that they're not going to peek you.
เหมือนเดิมนะเหมือนเดิมแสดงว่า A นะ
Taken Talon a couple of sacrifices to really make their way into sight. And all of a sudden, Zeta now looking for a push. Rubble straight in with the overdrive. Convergent path deployed as well, but not quite stunned up. It's going to be the kill contract from XDL to pull Cruz away. And Cruz gets a flick at the end.
Oh, but Shota.
เฮียลุงทีมเดินใส่เลยครับ
Backlines, Shota back sight in C. He knows that there are a couple of players nearby, so tries to buy some time.
วิ่งพลาดเลยสัตว์เหมือนโดนไปก้อนเลยเฮ้ยมึงทำอะไรกัน
Shorty stuns as well, and Talon have arrived on the scene. Someone sped up for it, but still Thai to trade. Spike not planted yet.
Salvo's not going to be online for Cruz just yet, but the team wants to go in.
Oh, 10-10. What a peek. Sugar Zero. Talon find themselves in a lost situation.
Yeah, you really don't feel comfort there for Talon to be able to get the spike. Zeta, they have
first time offline VCT viewing by watching really a surprising game from Zeta.
And back in towards the pistols, where these teams have kind of been on the lower scenario this stage of getting the pistol round conversions.
แน่นอน100,000%.
Of course, one of the teams does need to win them in this one.
The one namely Talon currently positioned around Rubble. Got a couple players in towards the B side as well. Cruz will spot them out, especially with a trip. He will find his target in 10-10.
มึงสไลด์กูเดินไง
Voice close by, cracks the shield, but the shield still allows for XDL to find his frags. 3 so far. He's somewhat low HP. The shield supports him once again until he gets overwhelmed.
Yeah, could have won that duel if there wasn't a second member there and potentially had beat on for the ace.
But with that mid-round call, the spike getting planted over onto the C site. So 2 tangos.
แย่แล้ว
Sugar Zero trying to mark the spot. He saw the dark cover emerging from this spot, so he knows exactly where they are. Close range with the right click. Spots over onto the second. As he hops over, it will just be a bit of a distraction for Shota to slam it down.
Yeah, that makes things a little bit more difficult for Talon now, doesn't it? 9-3. If you got the pistol, you start off your adventure on the defensive side, like your opponents did.
เป็นตามสถิติก็ทารอนก็ไม่ชนะเลยครับแบบแรก
right? But not able to do that here this round. Some great B bully plays coming out there from the likes of your ISO player, your Neon player, 10-10 getting in there, distracting, but ultimately getting a lot of good shots out there. Feeling pretty confident, you would assume,
ต้องแข่ง3แบบ
on
ต
this
ลอด
duelist
นะ
role for now.
And it's kind of like what we've been needing to see from Zeta for the longest time. Now though, Talon.
งั้นไม่เหนื่อยเลยแล้วกันวันนี้
2-0. Pushed out towards Mound, and you have some shots being fired over. 10-10 still.
ไอ้เหี้ยเทนตายยากแท้เว้ย
Primmy will pick up the Vandal, and with that he swings, finds the double. Just showed up.
1-on-1 ครับพิมมี่
Primmy.
โอ้ย
What is this?
ขอเสียงคนดี
Jumps onto Primmy.
Need to see that from the other side. Primmy has certainly tried to do his darnest to win something there for the team. You pop the refract as well, but you know he can't use it in that scenario and just has to stick it against Shota, who, with the Ghost, is able to pull on through a massive scrap battle around the mound. You think maybe these classics have a little bit of life to them. Might be able to find something there from Talon, but no, unfortunately not. And here's the shot. Just a good headshot to come through from Shota at the end.
นี่โชตา
things kind
เดียวเลย
in dire straits for Talon. You can't make a mistake on this defensive side and give map point over to Zeta.
Right, 3-11 as the scoreline. It's not easy to come back from, but if you are Talon, you still have
โอ้แม่ง
a kind of a
แม่ง
chance
เอาไอ้นี่มา
until
เล่นตรงนี้เว้ย
kicks things off
ไอ้
this way, though.
ไอโซครับ
Relay
ทำ
both
ให้โอ
into
เมน
a
แฟด
kill.
ไม่ได้
There's a lot of
แล้วโอเมน
control
ก็
around A main.
ขาตายเลย
Might have the lesser
โอ้
weaponry.
โห
Certainly running in and charging.
ไอ้เหี้ยไอโซบัฟมาเห็นผล เมื่อกี้โอเมนทำอะไรไม่ได้เลยขาตายเลยแบบตายทั้งตัวแล้วขาด้วยเพราะว่าโดนจ่ายของกระทืบอีกแล้วพิมพ์โหหนีพิมพ์หนีไหมพิมพ์ไม่หนีกลัวอะไรสัตว์เชี่ยอย่าไฟตายไปโอ้ยพิมพ์
All right, so just Thai getting caught out, pushed a little bit too deep towards Rubble, where he's very focused in on by Zeta. But the fact that Primi is able to isolate a couple of 1v1 angles around that A site, he's, you know, a very sharp player, right? So he's able to get them.
มาดิบมากกว่าหมูดิบเฮ้ย
And again, you
ที่
need
เขา
to
กิน
see
ซอย
something
จุ
big
เป็น
come
เนื้อ
through
ครับไอ
from
สัตว์
Talon. I don't think we really have much weight in a round such as that though, because it is a bonus, right? Like it should be going the way of Talon, but it's the way that they need to be winning these rounds that we really need to take a little bit more stock in. This time they're going to position more players towards the C site, and on the flip side, Zeta.
เฮ้ย
If
วาง
they
เป้า
wait
วาง
for
เป้า
this
ดี
util to expire and go a little bit quicker towards A Rubble here,
นั่นไงนั่นไง
might see some
แผน
quick
เดิม
shifts
ไอ้
from
เหี้ย
Talon.
มุกเดิมทำอะไรพวกกู
Might
ไม่ได้หรอก
feel the need to
เออ
rotates.
Mod,
really quick. At least the
Mod.
contract will inform them somewhat, especially with the self
Stein.
now coming out from Cruz.
Yeah, that'll be heard by Shota.
ลิเคียนาบี
Get that one over. As Zeta, still little by little here, Quack.
โอ้
Starts to piece things
นี่
together.
ดูมันยิงนี่ดูมัน
Towards
เกี่ยวหัว
That's rough,
ไอ้
by the way.
กล้องไปน่ะ
Getting dinked by the Phantom.
โอ้
Which
มา
has to give up a lot more
Hey,
space,
man.
and that allows for Zeta to actually pull up a bit of a
Team
fake.
Taeyang,
The B
Team
side is
Taeyang.
the real hit, boys, and
Yeah.
Talon are unaware.
บุตร
Cruz
ชาย
there
คน
with
เล็ก
the salvos can buy a little bit of time. Got to get the rest of your forces over here to take the fights, though.
Exactly. Time might have been bought, but you got no eyes on the site. Jit Boys also trying to flank up.
Don't forget, Primi has convergent paths here too. Not able to bait it out
ส
yet
วย
as
เป็น
Zeta,
ในนั้นแหละ
but
กล้อง
I like
นั่น
this
นั่น
from
แหละ
them.
ในนั้นแหละ
Pivot back towards the A site where Killua, still on 10 HP, is the
เนียน
only
นั่นแหละ
soldier
เนียน
here.
นั่นแหละเนียน
A
นั่น
lot
แห
of
ละเนียน
question
ไว้
marks
เนียน
in
ไว้กล้อง
Talon's
เนียนไว้
minds. They're still thinking about the B
เนียนไว้กล้อง
side.
เนียนไว้
Can
เนียนไว้
Killua live up to
เฮ้ย
certain
นี่
expectations?
รีคอนอะไรวะ
That recon
เฮ้ย
was kind of brutal. He will
Clues.
dig deep though, and Clues still finding the shot. Thigh drops
อัน
down.
จะโถเอ้ยเล่นไอแพดอยู่เฮ้ยไม่โดนตายเอาตายตาย
Will find his mark. Jit Boys up from the back lines now. The flank finally coming alive, but at what cost? 1 on 2.
10-10's low.
เฮ้ย
Nearby, but the barrel has been spotted. 10-10 with the dastardly angle being held, pushes Zeta up to map point.
Mate, you might have felt some indecision from Zeta there, tapping that spike time and time again at B, looking to prod up through A, but then rotating over, rotating back. But it's actually some good calls from them, right? You're trying to bait out a lot of this utility that could make them a bit hot under the collar at that B side and make it awkward for them to try and establish a plan, because they don't have full control around that side either, right? So you're drawing
โอ้จิตยิงไอเทนไม่ตายด้วย
making them really
ไอ้
second
เหี้ย
guess
เท
at
น
that point in
รอด
time
การ
as well.
จับกลุ่ม
Can we
ของ
actually invest our
ของ
util?
ของ
Where
ไอ
can
จิต
we
ไป
put in Primi's
แล้ววิ่งไปยิง
ultimate
ไอ้
to try
ใต้
and
แบบ
gain
ชิว
favor?
ๆทั้งที่
And
มี
it
ข้อมูล
doesn't.
ตายครับตาย
Now there is 8 map points here for Zeta Division on their opponent's pick.
Really tough and tricky, but it's been phenomenal calling for Zeta thus far.
เสียง
With
คนที่
mid-rounds and even with how they're beginning things. This time, sensing for the bit of a gap into the B site, they go in for that quick 4-man
โอ้โห
push. 10-10 just opens up a
Kim
lot of
Taeyang
space with XDL in to follow
น้องชายของ
through.
คิมเทโอ
Just bringing
MVP
up by the
Master
top
Back
upper now. But where
มัน
other
เอา
refs
แล้ว
chooses to tie
ไอเดฟ
players.
มึงซ
Exactly.
วย
You can't help each other out almost whatsoever here.
Even if Jit Boys wants to go around back by Pillar, he's going to trip that shear wall. So his only option through the door where it's just easily spotted out.
Yeah.
Now off towards a link, and the barrel simply found. The final score on the map ends just as quick as we began, Komodo.
มา
It's
ด้วยความมั่นใจจริงๆครับเทน
13-4.
เทน
Yeah, that was definitely a speedrun map to come out from Zeta Division. It didn't really feel like we were in the server for too long, did it here? We know that they need to win both of their series to get in towards playoffs, but we also know that Talon need to win this series. And so far, Talon, you know, were not able to really establish anything in that map. A slow
Can
start.
do almost everything. I kind of feel like they might have an edge here.
Yeah, well, we'll see indeed if that consistency from Zeta comes out and they can close up this map, or if this is simply that first map thing that Talon has going on. We're going to toss it on
Talon
back to
fighting!
Quack and Komodo.
Why, thank you very much, Mika. Big Time and Pilsky. I always got to remember their names right. But yes, we are thinking about kind of the modern composition versus something that's, well, not really traditional, but what
อุ้ย
Talon
อุ้ยอุ้ยอุ้ย
favors.
aggressive
What do you think
โอ้โห
about this,
แล้ว
by
เหมือน
the way?
จะ
I
ไม่
mean,
เจอ เหมือนจะไม่เจอนะ
He was on that Neon from before, and he was just providing so much. This time
อย่า
out,
ลึก
Europe,
มากนะ อย่า
I think
ฝืน
one of
นะ
the
ถ้า
biggest
ไม่
things
เจอ
for
ก็
him
อย่า
is
ไปหา
playing
ถึง
the
โช
same
ตะ
role
นะ
that
เขา
he
รอ
did
อยู่
on
เด้
this map
อ
As his normal, you know, challenger team, right? So it should be pretty comfortable for him. I like the space by the way, that Talon are actually trying
Ni
to
ya.
get towards a main
Yeah.
right now, and Shota
โดนไปเลย
Yeah,
he's taken down quick.
the lurk early on, and you also have double sentinel utility
อุ๊ยดูแถบดิ
all across heaven.
เลือด
So
กูเพิ่ม
instant
มาเว้ย
trips, Jit Boy's trying to play
พี่
around,
บอยจอยบี้
แบบ
especially
ชิว
with the cage up as well. 10
เฮ้ย
right in, and Jit Boy's thrown off balance. Killua
สวย
tries to refill that
ไม่
space.
ติด
and
แพ้ได้ไง
no
วะ
cage to
เอ้ย
do
ควัน
so.
ควันเติม
See
ตาย
what
เติม
Talon will be able to do here at the back of the side. But he can be encroached upon at the moment by Clues.
สวย
Doesn't get the shot.
เทหน่อย
Down, trades
เท
in,
ดี
and also in for
แดด
Sugar
เลยเพื่อน
to pick up the double. XDL then trying to hold down the line. He's
ส
the
วย
last
สวย
one
สวย
left
ให้มันวาง
alive.
ให้มันวางชนะแล้ว ให้มันวางชนะแล้ว
Something that
ให้มันวางชนะแล้ว
consider.
I mean, do you consider pushing towards spawn?
วาง
or not? Do you even
ดัก
have an
ดัก
idea
ดัก
of
ลบ
when
คนหนึ่ง
it's gonna be possible? Up a rope, Premier
Try to
just got your
surprise
first.
for me, but yeah.
Yeah. Hey, at least for Talon, you're on the board early, right? You've got the pistol round on your opponent's map pick. I think the biggest thing we just need to start to see from Talon is them hitting the shots,
พี่
taking
ทีม
good
สุขภาพจิต
space,
ไม่ค่อยดีเหรอ
coming out on top of duels with advantages.
บาดเจ็บเรียกว่าบาดเจ็บ
He's down onto split currently.
อุ้ย
Trying to pick a lot of that off. Talon resurging themselves back in. You gotta love the way
Let's
that they
go
were
แล้ว
putting
Let's
out.
go แล้ว Let's go แล้วมีเสียง
Breath of fresh air that Primi is actually on duel of split and not on deadly.
Fair enough, fair enough. But I still kind of like the
ต้อง
luck
เต้น
you
ท่าไหน
play
อะวิดพื้น
does
มือเดียว
provide
หรือจะเดมซี่อะ
something a little bit different, especially with the barrier match now against the pistols, but
Dempsey
quickly
ดีกว่า
dispatched up.
เด็ดกว่า
Cruz thought to aggress into it, especially with the grab net, but now punished
เว
for
ล
it. Marshall shot
ทำไม
fired,
หวานจัง
but
อ่ะ
still picking up
ทาร
the
อน
victory.
He's so happy to just get dirty.
เฮ้ยกูนึกว่าซอยจู
isn't he?
เฮ้ย
Now it's a player
หวาน
advantage.
น้ำล
Not Zeta division. Yes, it is the pistols. Yes, it's a stinger for 10-10. But it's a 4 versus 3 where you regroup
ทำ
together.
รูปแจกที่อะไร
Still
บ่อยอ่ะ
looking
เดี๋ยว
to
ก็
go
ว่า
to
สาม
sack
ดาวแล้ว
Bravo.
อันไง
เฮ้ยได้ยินเสียงไหมวาร์ปวาร์ปได้ยิน จิตบอกกูรู้ จิตบอกกูรู้ มึงมาดิ มึงมาดิพี่เอาปืนจ่อขมับเอ้ายิงทำไมอะ ได้ฟรีนะกูบอกก่อน แม่งมาใหม่ แม่งวางใหม่
Joda has the smoke ready to bust out.
Second one sent
เอาเดี๋ยว
over.
มึง
Yeah.
แทงมาเด็มึงแทงมาเด็
Flash and
Die!
Cloud, but Primi trying to lend
Hey!
as many of these flicks as possible. Unfortunately,
ไอ้นั่นใครวะ
that he wants to will airstrafe into safety, but that gives Zeta the spike plant.
โอ้
Reloads,
แพ้
finds
แล้
the
ว
next
แพ้
target.
แล้วทารอนแพ้แล้วทุกคน
The pistol can work. Primi needs to hit the shot.
Primi's so low. One shot is all it takes, but
Oh, Clues.
where could Clues be? Oh my God, Clues.
He's got 5 seconds to get those salvos back online as well. Yeah, it'll give up
โอ้
his position.
แม่ง
but
มีแม่ง
you
มี
gotta
โพส
just
แพนอีก
remember, right click classic. It'll blow
แม่ง
Primi
มีโพส
over.
แพนอีกเอ้ยแตะก่อนแตะก่อนเดี๋ยวแพ้แตะก่อน
Default
เฮ้ย
spot.
ที่หญิง
There's a really
Come
good
back
chance
off.
that he could just
Wait,
beat his
Sam,
way
one
into it.
loud,
Primi up drafts
Get
away,
back.
holds the
Come
ankle
here.
back.
Oh,
he ran into
ไม่ยิ่งกว่าคัมแบ็ก
Oh, no!
the
เรียกว่าล้าง
final
มาล้างแค้น
rocket.
I get the idea. It's not halved
Deal to
yet
match.
at all.
I
You
didn't
want to
have
get
the
on it
wire.
as quick as possible, but the fact that both salvos are put on the same
I didn't
spot,
have the
they're going to
wire.
pulse pretty close to each
บอก
other.
ให้ดูไว้อะ
Heavy lifting done in the very beginning of that round from 10-10, just getting
got
dirty
song
with the
in
duels.
there.
I mean, nearly looking for the 4th in the round before
โอ้
ultimately
คิดรัว
falling.
เฮีย
Biggest B in the bonnet though. That's the eco round.
มันยังไม่แปลงร่างอะเนี่ย
Not
เล็กอะ
Talon's way. Oh dear.
โอ้ย
Well,
To the
Zeta will be
power,
happy to
shoot.
lap that one up. Buys in full.
Hello.
Primi. You know, feeling that
Đồ
he has
tạm
a
đi,
thirst for
sạt.
vengeance as
Chia.
well. In with the Vandal, one away from the Blade Storm.
Who does the
He's
ball?
trying to hold down to the site.
You've just scared Talon away from the site now.
Sir.
You're going to have to see
Sir,
big
làm ngay.
plays come out from
ตายหนึ่ง
Gonna have to
setups.
keep pushing out, and that's exactly
ตาย
10 in with the flash, but Primi will hold his ground. So that could be a
เอาปืน
potential
เอาปืน
win
เอาปืนมา
if
เอาปืนมา
Talon kind
โอ้
of gets
จะตายหมด
close
แล้ว
to it.
ไอ้เหี้ย
Cruz.
โดนยิง
Yep,
ทะลุ
that's the stinger. Namely, though, still for Zeta, you got all these rifles. You got
ลึก
the
ลึกลึกลึกลึกมี
coming
ลึก
back
มีเช็ค
soon.
ยังลึกมีลึกมีเช็คยังเล่นเร็วๆเล่นเร็ว
How do you break this defense?
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Time to just be bought with all of this destructive util.
ๆโอ้
Flash
ลึก
over, Salvos in just to check,
Ủa,
especially around the pillar.
Kim.
But because
Lực
of this
mi,
poison
check
flash,
dàn lực.
hold the angle so successfully. Primi, once again,
โอ้
carries his team over, finds a quick tap onto Shota. And down to the final player, Clues holds as much as possible. The spike going off. Primi hunting for the frag, spots him out, but still at the very end of it, nonetheless, a round handed over to ZETA.
Yeah, the spike is going to claim Primi before he can get clues. He'll make him fall with the ship essentially at the end there. But I did say, right, it had to be Primi to do something in this round. A little bit too little too late. Gets all four with the Vandal, but time to be bought for the utility when you're in towards the site. You didn't really need to use too much to get in there as Zeta Division. It's alright to be able to look at this. This is now maybe where we get a little bit of normalcy brought back in towards the map, right? Proper gun round. Blades are going to come out from Primi, but it's immediately towards the B side of things to start to scope out the opposition of who is here. Is Die on the site, but it is a little bit of a trap at Heaven.
Yeah, it also just kind of pushes Talon offline, and that's going to be a lot of space now for Zeta.
Can you stop the plant as Killua? Not really. So it's going to be a player advantage for Zeta yet again in a post plant.
Salvo's already spent. At least he will be able to use the drone to clear out middle in case anyone set out onto the flank, but this is going to be a tough retake for sure unless Primi can find every single tango. Updrafts, but immediately Zeta just backtracks into safety. Killua now up towards the pillar side.
เมนอุ้ยหูมิหันไปหาเมนนี่ไงเหี้ยปากำแพงใส่แม่งเลยนี่เมื่อกี้โดนดาเมจกำแพงนะเหี้ยเจ็บนะเจ็บนะโดนกำแพงทับ
Needed to keep things pretty good in the contest
เหี้ย
here on
พิมมี่
split.
หันไปเอาบีเมนเฉยเลยโคตรเวอร์เดี๋ยวต้องมีรีเพย์นะกล้องไม่ได้จับแต่กูเห็นนะกูนี่ไวรีเพย์หน่อยครับรีเพย์มาปั๊บ
He does
know
one player towards the defense spawn side of things, and it's just good recognition for him with those blades that he needs to be holding the right angles to get into the jewels.
So this definitely does prove that Talon's still capable of stringing rounds together, especially now the economy favoring their side. Could be able to launch strong defense.
พิมมี่เพิ่งพาได้ในวันที่
Certainly a
คน
player
อื่น
that does love getting out
และ
the
ยำใจ
outlaw. He'd almost be contending for the most kills that we've had of Leon so far, so the right round to kind of bring it
จิ
out.
ตนายระยำจัดเลยวะวันเนี้ย
Gotta watch out for 10-10 still though. Scopes out as much as possible on the A site.
Yep, includes two by the way. Away from the Armageddon. If you're able to drop that in a round such as this, Sugar Zero to reposition to the backside with 10-10 for example. If there was a gate crash available, there's not, so it would only be Sugar Zero.
มันมุดได้ปะเนี่ย
Start to split in towards one of these sites.
ห้องเฮียเนี่ยกูได้10 แต้ม
Plant yet again.
ไม่เห็นทำเป็นไม่เห็นดิไม่เห็นนะทำเป็นไม่เห็น
Informed Talon that there is a rifle on the side of Zeta as well. So now
เห็นปะน่ะ
positions noted towards
ตายเฮ้ยวันเวมึงพังปะวะ
Four players rotated
ตาย
and a potential
มึงไม่ยิงหน่อยวะ
Killua flushes them possibly in. At least will take down 10-10. But look at Sugar Zero.
Only the classics remember
Somewhat snuck in.
สวยทีม
Yes. So
สวย
nonetheless,
ตาย
the classics still
สวย
found by Talon, being able to spray them down. Killua successfully secures the round for Talon.
As many as they can get on this defensive side.
แม่งผ่านวันเวกันแบบ
right when you consider
ชิว
that
ๆเลยเหรอ
it is
ยิงไม่
running
หน่อย
with a
ดิ
double sentinel role for them as well.
ได้นะน่ะมึงเป็นพ่อมด้วยนะ
Need to see a lot more control. I want to see, you know, personally, a couple more different positions that they're putting a lot of that utility down. If you're playing disconnected on the B site and focusing more on towards the likes of mid and A, you know, how are your retakes structuring? Are you still feeling pretty confident to completely have
จิกไป
retakes
ก่อน
over
จิก
towards
ไป
the B
ก่อน
site?
ต้อง
Or
จิก
are
ไป
you
ก่อน
trying to now counter 10-10
มัน
for
เห็น
example,
ผ่าน
when
หน้า
you're
ผ่าน
getting
ตา
in
ต้อง
towards
จิ
these
กก่อน
rifle
มี
rounds,
ปืน
these
อ่ะ
ults are available, putting your
ด้วยความ
util
ที่
a
เป็น
little
แฟน
bit
ทอม
further
ด้วย
back.
มันไม่ได้
Because
เสีย
right
เปรีย
now,
บอะไรเลยอะ
very spread around the map.
ไม่ได้เสีย
And
เปรียบ
that kind of builds
เรีย
good
กว่า
favor towards Zeta to
แจ้งเลยดีกว่า
methodically start to piece things together little by little, finding the right timing, the right gaps over to this site.
เฮ้ยอะไรทำอะไร
That's
คุยัน
precisely what they've done. A
เอา
lot
อะไร
of
เอาอะไร
things
ในวง
already
อ่ะ
got in, especially
สวย
into A heaven. Primi trying to mark as much as possible. It is the outlaw though. So needing to play with caution. Armageddon will flush Primi, but he still lands his mark. Next target, Sugar Zero tries to
สวย
slither
ส
in
วย
and
ส
try
วย
to will be able to lock one out, but still, Cruz now down.
ย้ายมันไปสวย
Cancelled big
อ้าวบอม
report.
ไม่ได้อยู่ที่มัน
Still though, at least a spike
ดีใจ
picked
เลยวะ
up by Clues will be able to bring it over across mid.
Yeah, but the difference of a 3 versus 3 now to the 2 versus 3, you get the hit down nice and early. You can start to get this rotation for the spike, but again, strength in numbers for Talon.
ให้มันวางกันเล่นเลย ให้วางกันเล่นเลยมันจะเหลือคนเดียววางแล้วเล่นเลยไหนว่าเล่นเลยอ่ะ
ออกไม่ได้ให้รอก่อน
รอมันจะได้เล่น2 คนพร้อมกัน
Instantly destroyed by Clues, and he's trying to hang close by. Does have the salvos, but trying to play for them as much as possible.
ตัวเดียวไหลติดกันหน่อยไหลโดนจอจังหวะไหลโดนจอ
hopped up and dived down from behind, unexpected. Jit Boys doing what's needed for talent.
Drop from above. When you've got numbers advantages, it gives you just a little bit more options to do something there. As Talon, not able to really find too much when you're in the pit there. And again, you know, one of the biggest things, an investment over towards the A site, some timing from Shota. But I think for me, not able to have that 3 versus 3 at the end there, and Clues not able to double down. Makes things awkward for Shota to try and close that one out in the pit itself. So,
แมปแรกมึงไม่เห็นรู้เลย
from Talon. A couple of rounds on the board, but it is still early. It's real early here in the 2 to 4 round. And we've now had the curse appear. The Pacific Tech
มีคนอนิม่าด้วยคน
ดู
เดียว
ทุก
เลย
อย่างยกเว้นแมปแรกไอ้เหี้ยแมปแรกไม่รู้เหี้ยอะไรเลย
It's all right. We'll give the
มืด
players a little bit of a breather
8 ด้าน
to iron out as many
ซินดิเคตไม่มีคนเล่นเลยครับ
as they can play at
ไม่เล่น
their
ซินดิเคตดีกว่าเนี่ย
เฮ้ยอย่าผมขอ
Top form is definitely what we do want to see, right? Again, the weight on this series, you kind of can't be underestimated, understated rather.
อ๋อโอเคดีได้
Talon, this is the series that defines if they get in towards playoffs or not. To start to get playoff points, you know, you'll look towards stage 2 for them to see if they're going to be able to get back onto the world stage at some point.
ดูดีฮะเครื่องติดช้าสมแล้วสมสถิติเล่นตามสถิติเลยนะคือรู้เลยอ่ะแบบแรกรู้เลยต้องทำไง
He's been saying that this is like kind of the most talented squad that he's ever coached.
Yeah, and there's growing pains, right? There's learning curve for them. When you do consider that Killer and Thai are still relatively new to this roster, well, they are brand new. Primi is still kind of learning as well, right? It's a very young roster of talent that he's got here. Then he needs to work alongside, you know, other coaches, staff. You also have to work alongside Cruz very closely here for some translation things.
เด็กพอทำคุยกับโค้ชใช่ครับ
Personal issues which are at least, you know, really deeply felt. But that said, right now, trying to collect themselves and bring things back in towards their favor. Doing a magnificent job. Controlling middle with a lot of utility already spent.
Yeah, I don't know if Cruz intended for the Gravnet to go exactly where it did there and catch himself, but he wasn't taken out, so it's all right.
Getting on annihilation as well, and a lot of stinger rounds already fired off.
เฮียไรสัตว์ไปแล้วพิมพ์บอกใครจะอยู่ก็อยู่
So you got
เฮ้ยโดดหลบ
garage.
ไม่มีอะไรนี่
You really want to try and charge on towards Primi, who has the outlaw at the right spot with the.
เห็นแน่แดดโอ้แดดไม่ไปนิดเดียวเชียวตายแวบมาแล้วตายสวยตาย
And showed out to refill space.
What does your boys want to do?
เล่นกับเพื่อนจิตเล่นกับเพื่อน
Here, 2 versus 2, remember. And that
จิต
just
เล่นกับเพื่อน
jumps
อุ้ยเรามี annihilation นะ
for a plant.
annihilation
Picked up.
annihilation
Quite deadly in the hands of Clues.
ยิง
And attack, stunning things up, but here comes the annihilation.
เต็ม
Off towards Cruz to hold down the line as Clues swings out violently. But nonetheless, Talon to regain control.
Yeah, 2 versus 2, Gravnet and Annihilation. Feel the need to invest that one there. It's not too bad, I won't lie, right? We need to see some more dominance from Talon, highlighting the fact that they are on this defensive side with this double sentinel roll. Want to see some good structure come out from them, some good usage of that utility as well. And rounds such as that, right? Good heads up play from Primi to hold a superior line with the outlaw as well to get the first damage started. He's currently having a bit of a belter on this defensive side. 15 kills so far.
And now for the op being pulled out.
Yep.
มอบตัวหน่อยเฮ้ยอย่าทำเนียนดิ
Does Zeta expect this?
Big on the snipers. We heard early up on a map like Lotus. You play around these Vipers walls with an operator.
ได้เอเมนขาดครับสวย
Kind of have to be a little bit more heads up though, because you don't have a Viper yourself, right? So kind of just playing on the back of the timing from Shota there, and the rest of the team, how many numbers might be on the back of it. Wow. So for Primi here, has to hit one and get out,
ได้เอเมน
or
ขาด
hear the drone and potentially get out a little bit earlier. If it doesn't go his way,
ไม่เห็น อย่างนี้เสร็จ
Yeah,
อย่างนี้เสร็จ
doesn't
หนึ่ง
have the
นับ
tailwind
หนึ่ง
popped
เลย
up.
โอ้
This could be dangerous. He legged him, legged,
Guy
and
did loud,
then
though. Team.
traded out by XDL with an incredible shot.
Good high jump.
Oh
Clues
my
there.
goodness, 10-10 snuck in towards Vents as well. So while Talon rotates on over, they might not expect a lot of players beginning to push their way over into the site.
Setting yourselves up though.
ไม่ใช่ทั้งทีมนะแค่น้องทีมคนเดียวนะ
10-10 as the rolling thunder goes in.
ที่
Now
ต้องกลับ
a
ไทย
lot for Cruz to do.
ที่เหลืออยู่ซ้อมต่อ
Completely
ดูซ้อมมา
pinned
ซ้อม
down. Still
Sway!
trying to swing nonetheless, but
Yeah.
only able to find one kill.
4 versus 2
Yeah.
going into a post plant here. Need to see some massive things come out from the rookies now.
10-10. Still playing sneaky around Heaven. He's already pulling Talon in, already under their skin. And Killua will be able to spot him out inside of that poison cloud. Not bad, but still working against numbers and time. XDL, long range shot, all from A ramp.
พอถอยปะ
Tai left alone
ส
and
วย
cold.
ตาย
Still attempting
ตาย
to
ถ้ามึง
break
คัดกู
through.
บอกเลยวันนี้มึง
Paranoia sent through.
โอ้เกาะ
ไม่มีใครว่ามึงเลยต่อไป
He has to
Sway.
consider way too many angles. Allows for
ว่า
Sugar
ต่อ
Zero
อย่าง
to
นี้ด่าต่อ
recenter and
ลุย
pick the round back up for Zeta
ลุย
to
ต่อ
reach
เลย
a 3.
Some moments in that round as well where players are peeking before the smokes. You got to wait for them to fully activate if you want to have some longevity in the round. It might feel like just there. Good repositioning from 10-10 before he, peeks through the poison cloud before it forces a little bit there for Killua to get that kill. And on
เหี้ย
that
ใคร
last
จะ
one,
รู้ว่าอยู่ตร
Killua
งนั้น
does
น่ะ
the exact same thing. So reel those in just a little bit. Unfortunate, by the way, that Primi with that operator isn't able to establish a advantage for Talon there. But to keep things close on
เขา
this
สโมก
map,
เพื่อจะกู้อะ
Zeta
เมื่อกี้
start to get closer. You win this round. You reset the economy of Talon. You're looking 4-5, 5-5 tie-up. So this is an important swing round on this first half.
And for Talon
เฟก
to
เทเลพอร์ต
truly shut that down if possible. Zeta has been
ไม่รวยจังอะ
creating a lot of havoc across the A side, and hence we see the double sentinel setup over on that portion of the map. Triple stack on B. We'll see if that pays out.
Now I'm wondering if Zeta are going to be able to recognize that mid is going to be quite absent of presence. You're not seeing any, wall come up from Cruz, any
อุ๊ย
refresh of
ไม่เห็น
smokes there
พิม
as
พ์
well.
ไม่เห็น
Yoda's
พิมพ์
just
ด้วย
hanging about,
ตาย
playing
ตาย
his own
มึงเล่นเนียนเลย
utility, looking for quite the late
มึงเล่น
lurk.
เนียนเลย
Yeah. Currently, well, it doesn't appear to be the game plan for Zeta to head over to mid anytime soon. So just trying to break straight through out from garage.
โอ้ยเนียนกว่า
An exchange.
กูเจอเนียนกว่า
3-on-3. And
Yeah.
Zeta backpedals.
And now you got to see Shoda try and cut off a bit of these rotates, or maybe try and find that he's
Oh,
already
Nian
still
Kip,
go to this
Kilua.
piece. Just Cruz.
โอ้นึกว่าตูด
30
เด็ก
seconds to go. Disconnected from Jit Boys at the site that you haven't
Nian
seen
Pai.
any of the Sentinel util. This is the best scenario.
โอ้ย
for
มาดิ
Talon.
สัตว์มาดิมาดิ
It's all down to Jit Boys.
พิกมัน
Can he
สตัน
find
ให้มึง
the
โอ้ย
frag?
เชี่ยเลยอะ
Positions into the
ตาย
cage,
หนึ่ง
and it's a kill trip.
มาดิ
Second cage
มา
up.
ดิเวลาบีบ
And the
เวลาบีบ
Snake
และ
Bite
จิต
forces
รู้
him out of position
ส
where he
วย
does. Sun to
รู้
show up.
รู้จริง
The
รู้
second
จริง
trip now popping
รู้
off.
จริงรู้จริง
Cruz showing up by
รู้จริง
Heaven.
นี่หว่า
Just buys time
นึกว่าโม้
away.
ไอ้
The
เหี้ย
round is as good as over.
โอ้
Jit Boys to swing.
รู้
XDL still trying
รู้เหรอ
to kill as many as possible, but not to be found. Talon moves upward.
Yeah, that's a bit of a bad momentum shift for Zeta in that round when they start to get the kills around the B site finally to make the decision to rotate in towards the A site, where I'm highlighting the fact we've seen nothing in mid, right? Shota didn't see any aggression, didn't see any refreshing of
โอ้
utilities,
ที่รัวพีคซีซัวเลยอะ
from
พีคมั่ว
deadlock
เลยอะ
in male or in middle of itself,
จิตแม่ง
right?
แบก
So
ว่ะ
you're getting this
ยาว
idea
เนี่ย
of they probably want to end up on the B site, right? The A site completely unknown territory going into there where there is the Cypher utility,
จิต
the
แม่งแบกว่ะ
deadlock utility, that just completely rips them on up. I'll also add into the initial setups of Talon there, having Primi elevated in a spot that hasn't generally been checked so far by the likes of Zeta Division. We've seen Sugar Zero, Shrouded stepping into the site almost every
เอ้ย
time
ไหน
they've
ไหน
fought
ขอ
B.
ดูหน่อย
And he's kind of done that without check yet. So Primi able to get 2 on the back of that as well. Nicely done.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's
The
good adjustments.
Stone พระ
Which
แท้
is
ค
the
น
biggest
เก๋
thing right now.
Agree for
50
sure.
ล้าน
I mean, adjustments all across the board, but also just pretty exceptional calling by Cruz to set up that round in that
เฮ้ย
defense.
เฮีย
So timeout now from Zeta.
เล่นสงกรารแบบคนรวยฮะพี่เบี
Try
ย
to
ร์
approach things maybe somewhat differently.
คนอื่นเขานั่ง
Do
บะ
we
พี่เขาเอา
expect
อะไรมาน่ะ
Talon to play with the same setup then?
Bata.
Do we see the double sentinel once again over onto A? The answer is no. Cruz this time, possibly setting up for a peek alongside Thigh in towards Garage. He does have the grav net ready.
Yeah, that would slow any aggression and control that Zeta may look to do
โอ้โห
towards
สวย
this
จัด
B
เลยว่ะ
side.
เมือง
Jiggling for it, but doesn't spot. Oh, gate crash. You know someone's nearby.
โอ้
Oh, and it's oh! Armageddon sent through! Oh, and he finds the sprays as well! Cruz! A
โอ้ทีม
triple!
ไอ้เชี่ย
The
เอ็ด
4K!
เอ็ด
Will it
เอ็ด
be the ace? Cruz trying to dance around, trying to stay
เหมือนเมส
alive.
ซี่เลยเหมือนเมสซี่เลยท่านี้
Will he trap
Ta
water
ể.
and stay afloat, or will
Bị
he
mày
get
annihilation
spotted
เลยไหม
out,
น้อง
thrown at the least, but still the right clicks.
ไม่ annihilation
Kill
ไหม
now,
วะ
trying to finish off the deal, and he does just that. But what an incredible round coming out from Cruz.
Trying to do his breast
เป็นกวนตี
texture
แม่ง
impression,
เลย
it would
เฮีย
appear here, hunting for the ace and not able to find it. I will be the pessimist in this round. It's just an eco. Why are you investing the Armageddon? No, it's fine. 10-10
Yeah,
also in the
but
middle of that, by the way,
wide
gets out of dodge through
team.
the gate crash, but just really heads up from Cruz to get all his kills, and there you go. Not as elevated as textures are, but hey, you know.
A joke that I shall not make on broadcast. But that is the dream. You know where I'm going with this. The dream for every Deadlock player. Now though, 10-10 trying to
แล้วมาแล้วครับ โอ้ อันตี้กูบอกให้มึงใช้เก็บเอ็ดลาวเมื่อกี้ไง
But the rest of the team weren't there to
แม่ง
try and
เอ้ย
get
ไม่ได้ใช้แถมไม่ได้เอ็ด
positions. Blinds up
อุ๊ยจิต
Jit Boys
มึงขึ้นมาเอาเหรอ มึงขึ้นมาเอาเหรอ มึงขึ้นมาเอาเหรอไอ้สัตว์มึงนักเลงไง
Still able to recollect.
เฮียสูตรไหน
But
วะ
with
ขึ้
the
นมาเอา
peeks out from Primmy though, Clues
ว้า
just
Sugar
racking up
Hero.
kills.
Bit scrappy around the site, but some good shots and information from 10-10. Again, big distractor for Sugar Zero to get into the alleyway to be able to pick it up. Got to see some, you know, we don't always rather see just very clean rounds.
แม่งยังไล่บนไม่เสร็จเลยตายก่อนครับ ไม่ได้ใช้
Recognize things nice and
โอ้โห
quickly
อัน
and
นี้รอ
play
อยู่แล้วโอ้โห
in the weirdness.
And that's
TLZ.
something that we haven't seen from Zeta quite before. Now being able to show that up, it definitely surprises Talon. Cruz not being able to pull off the annihilation back there as well, so the scrappiness succeeds. Next round up. And once again, a lurk from Shota. Trying to get spotted out. Primmy unfortunately though getting gunned down! The double!
ไม่รอของวะมีย่องมีย่อมีนู่นมีนี่
Shota done his job there. Can't use the pit in this last round, unfortunately, anymore. But now you might have done enough for your team. Unless Jit Boys does something dastardly.
Oh, he's been good so
รู้
far,
แท้
especially
ๆ
in
ทำ
that
ไมไม่ไป
previous
จับตาย
round.
วะแบบจับ
Now
อะ
working around his cage is the Neuro Theft as well, revealing his opponent's positions.
Ooh, Cruz.
Stealthy.
Unexpected. Really? Or maybe not. XDL had an idea. Couldn't quite get it. And now it's a player advantage for Talon. Hearing the rope. Confirming the information. Clues. A must-win duel individually here if he wants to keep on going. Because Sugar Zero also not going to be with him just yet. Into the A site, you got to clear all this util. Because last time you lost to it all. But a plant to go down. Let's see how they navigate to the 2 versus 3, where they do have salvos and an Armageddon available.
From the shadows for a little bit more information as well, but you have to wonder where Cruz is at some point. Sugar Zero though holding the off angle. The double swing does not favor Talon.
Spotted.
And Zeta continuing to aim with pride. They end the first half with a 5-7. What a recovery.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing, right? The recovery, because you started to really see some great rounds be collected
Leading up to it currently. For now at least, Talon begins with the 1-3-1 stealth drone up to clear out as much as possible around mid.
Just slowly but steady.
Oh, 10-10.
See if Talon want to continue to go up through mid or not.
Well, that's one of the things now with this composition. You don't have that Viper.
Yeah. What you do have, though, is an early trapwire push through A main that Jit Boys has to commune to the team to get ready for the possibility of a flank through spawn, a flank through sewers, 10-10. Does he think better of it? He's confident with the duel. That's a great shot to come out from him. And now you've got advantage of Zeta.
Impactful pickup for sure. Talon now thinking if they need to reinvestigate this crime scene, honestly.
See what distractor they can do over at the B side of the map. Currently just smoked off, but 10-10 playing very forward. That's
เฮีย
information.
คนหนึ่งมองหน้าคนหนึ่งมองหลัง
Flashes to
นะ
get himself away, but also for
Yeah,
Prinny
what
to
a
now
hot
begin
fire,
to
bro.
assault into the B side. Killua will find 10-10.
สวย
He needed to win that duel.
เฮียกลับมาก็ชนะเลยอ่ะ
It's a 2 versus 2, but the A site is open. Talon to establish a plant, and look at what Cruz still has up his sleeve. All of the deadlock utility, and you've got salvos as killer as well.
And it's just a fantastic site to set it up as well. Sonic sensors. Zeta has to push through all of it. You got salvos.
I mean, you know how long it takes to
ชนะจริง
break
เปล่า
this
วะ
wall with the pistols. That's
เนี่ย
a
ตา
lot
ดู
of
ดิ
bullets
สั
and
ตว์
a lot of information and audible locations here.
Ooh, time bought away with the grab net now.
เฮ้ยรู้อยู่นี่2รู้
It's just buying time
คนหนึ่ง
to
กู้
kill
คนหนึ่ง
right?
ยิงอ่ะ
Lovely
คนหนึ่ง
for
แก่
it. The longer he can hold the
โดนตายไม่ได้
salvo.
เฮีย
Sensors tripped. Ooh, but quick with the drive-by from Sugar Zero. Salvos now sent in.
ปิง
Spike
บอม
still
ให้หน่อย
away.
ปิงบอมให้หน่อยคนหนึ่ง
Remember.
Killua off towards heaven, but look at where Shota's looking.
อ่า
Zeta will secure the pistol round in an attempt to even things out.
Yeah, 2 versus 2 at the
NT.
end there. Just a little bit rough for Cruz to try and get something. Remember, he was a bit low in HP in that environment there. Lots of jewels around the map, actually, right? The early one from 1010 in the sewers, and then you've got it really split across the map, pun intended, into the B site, around the A site as well. Can kind of feel like a little bit of a flip of a coin in which way it's going to end there in the 2 versus 2, but I think just the favor at the end for the Zeta guys playing it together, having options with the smokes as well, and a lot of time to play with still, technically, against Killua there.
ดีนะ500เลยเท่านั้น
กูตายกดไป4เหรอ
There's also 1010 in with the outlaw.
คิมเพ
will find the
ยัง
collateral.
ตระกูลนี้การันตี
Off of that,
สัตว์มีอีกตัวไหม
B no longer a viable
มี
option. or at
มี
least
คิมไหม
Mirage
มีคิม
anyway.
เตไหม
Well, I mean, in these sort of scenarios, you would usually expect the round to almost be pretty much just done, right? 3 versus 5,
Classics.
just the classics. Now 2 versus 5, who do you favor to
Oh,
kind
no.
of pick
ตัวไหน
up
ใครเป็นไร
extra points, right?
I mean, that's
Nah,
the
we,
best
hey.
you can hope for, but even right
Oh,
now, just
my
having that many players already gone right off the rip.
ใครมีอาการ
Makes it scarier too, right? With a more
ไอ้นนท์
defensively inclined agent set that Talon are running.
ไอ้นนท์มีอาการเหรอ
Off that band-aid.
Well, now to be tied up, essentially, unless they have a generational fumble as Zeta.
Nah, no chance. That's not happening. Primi, that's not
เฮ้
happening.
ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Pelts him over with that water gun of his, but now on towards the outlaw. And fires off warning shots.
Jimmy, you
Zeta
gig đi.
beginning to dive.
Oh, you got a
ได้วางเว้ย
In. Plant in, which is great money already. So
Yeah.
not too bad of a round from
Yeah,
Talon,
good,
but Zeta
good.
sustaining minimal damage will get to carry on.
And into the bonus round, holding some good weaponry, right? I'll say good. A couple of Spectres and an Outlaw, unless we see any upgrades for
อ้าว
them.
เล่นไม่กู้
Definitely
เหร
going to
อ
be
มึงเล่น
workable
ไม่
with
กู้
some
ใช่
sort
ปะ
of trap plays too.
ได้
Oh,
ไอ้
yeah,
สัตว์เล่น
Spectre
ไม่กู้
close range.
เฮีย
Good try. Thanks, Yoru.
Just
Thanks,
throw a little
yo.
bit of BM over onto Talon. Well, not quite. You know, it's just the agent voice line. But that said, tying up the score now.
Yep.
Good chance for Zeta to find a lead.
อุ้ย
And we're already starting to see, you know, a little bit of these lineups
Team.
as well come in on recognizing Gravnet plus salvos can be powerful. Not seeing any bodies yet really found by that just yet. An opening kill here is going to be quite important for both sides. 1010 going to be around the right location to start things off with the Outlaw, which will need 2 shots to collect here, by the way. Everybody on Talon able to get the full shield.
เรียบร้อย
behind it
10-10
as they start to cross some
จะไป
eyes.
ไหม
got some
มึงจะไปไหม
teams in the flip side.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
Much needed, but also
Yep.
for 1010 to play with Shorty. He's into the smoke now.
Yeah, did he get? I think he got Gravnet too.
Oh. Maybe a bit of an audible
บอกไปแล้ว
for
ครับ
Talon, but not quite. He
โอ้ย
does
โอ้ย
get
โอ้ย
crashed
โอ้ย
away.
And to the A side of things.
เช็คให้ดีนะ
too.
เช็คให้ดีนะ
Uses the
ประสบ
second
การ
one
ณ์
to
หน่อย
get back if needed, but
โชว์หน่อย
control.
ดี
Thrown over towards
ต่อให้ไม่มีใคร
Talon.
ก็ต้อง
It
เช็ค
is
ครับ
CQB though, so you are
อี้ละเอียดดี
toying
ฮะ
with your life if you just push into that smoke. Talon
Yeah.
opting to play with
Hot lot.
discipline.
ถือว่าละเอียด
And again, as I highlighted just before,
Make
it's
sure
going to
B
be
main.
quite important to see which way the first kill is going to go, as the smoke has some timing on Mail to afford a little bit of a lurk up mid now and establish some utility in case
เฮ้ย
it
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
rotates.
เฮ้ยแผนมันตันๆปะเนี่ย
To lead
ทำอะไรกันเนี่ย
towards this A site,
อย่า
because
เดิน
again,
วุ่นทั้งแมป
Talon
เลย
going to be taking a couple of different duels
เฮ้ย
at
ขวา
the
จะหมด
same time across the map. XDL has to be careful. Shota has to be careful.
อุ้ย
So both sides playing
เชี่ยแล้วไง
extremely cautious, but Talon have also somewhat slipped the net. So with 2 players deep into the
เฮ้ย
A site
บุกไหน
now,
เนี่ย
they will find
เชี่ยเฮ้ย
10.
ใน B 2
Also
ตัวเฮ้ยไปช่วยหน่อย
for Shota with
มี
the
บอม
jump
ด้วย
breaks
ช่วย
to begin their push. Smokes out.
เฮ้ย
Sugar
แม่ง
Zero
วาร์ป
tries to reposition.
เฮ้ย
Close range with the Spectre.
เหี้ยแล้วไงเวลา
Sugar Zero taking down Killua.
ไม่
And
เอา
with the
ไม่เอา
spike
ไม่เอา
down, 10 seconds left to go.
ดี
Talon needs to sprint over to get the spike down.
It's alright though, they can. It's a player advantage for Talon, landed a little bit in an uncomfortable situation in the moment, but they have a time to establish here.
And you've got the guns.
เฮ้ยทีมสวย
You
แล้ว
don't
สวย
really
แล้ว
expect
นี่
Bruce
แห
to
ละ
reposition
นี่แหละ
here, do you?
อ้าวไอสัตว์นี่เปลี่ยนปืน
But what? Sugar Zero! Even though he expected it, somehow falling short, a little bit of reactions, but not too bad because we've got Primi right here to cover up all of
ไม่
the
ยิงหัวเลย
little fumbles. So not too bad. Talon will be able to keep themselves going forward.
Yeah, winning out on that bonus round of their opponents, but it does get a little bit down to the wire, right? You consider what if they were looking at heaven at that A site, right? You start to lose your ability to rotate back on over. What
Sugar
if Sugar
Shield?
Zero was able to find just a
หูยเหี้ย
second
แม่ง
one when
ฟิ
the
ก
spike goes down
ด้วยความ
and
ที่
he
เป็นแฟน
doesn't
ทอมฮะ
eventually
บาน
get
แตก
to lurk around and the time a factor as well, right? You don't want to see another scenario
กระสุน
for
มันรัว
any
ฮะ
real team
ได้อยู่
like RRQ the other
29 ไป
week
แล้วครั
where
บ
they
พิมมี่
couldn't get a single attacking round.
สายย่อ
Time just being an enemy.
เฮ้ยมึงวันเวลึกจังอะ
Saves upon bad rounds. Time ticking down, not leaving
โอ้แม่ง
yourself
ยึด
enough
บีเมนได้
space.
เฮี้ยมากไอสัตว์
Don't want to see Talon
ไม่
put
ต้องเสีย
themselves
เลย
in
แค่
a
ควันลูกเดียว
situation
เราก็
like
เสีย
that.
โดนเลยตรงนี้
Certainly can be tricky.
And now we're going to set up for what may well be a bit of a creep up contact execute. Heavy onto the site.
Perhaps a bit of a read given how
ถือแฟดรอ
not a single peep from either 10-10 or maybe just a bit from Sugar Zero, but currently nearby onto the side, especially holding up from
ชิบ
Raptor.
หายแล้วลื่นไอ้เย้ยควันไม่ตรงแหล่งครับ
Too shallow.
ขึ้นไปแม่ตัวล้นๆไม่มีควัน
Unfortunately, now he gets taken out. That's your way in
โอ้
towards one of
ใหญ่
these sites.
ใหญ่
Short
ใหญ่ใหญ่ใหญ่
back of a lane or pulling players away from this B site to try and get on in because now it becomes a slower, more methodical play from the Talon guys. No salvos, no gravnet yet. Wait for them to get refreshed potentially, but it's time again that's starting to
แย่แล้ว
dwindle on
เฮ้ยอย่าแยกกัน
down
ดิ
pretty rapidly. 30 seconds.
โอ้แม่งแยกกันเกิน
But you have meandered your
Ui,
way
ui,
upwards
sủi team.
into A heaven. Now Cruz creating more presence
Sủi
over
team,
onto the
tem.
B site with the annihilation as well. Mid-round calls being sent over. Shota trying
เฮ้ยมัน
to
ลง
hold
มาอีกแล้วไอ้
down
เหี้ย
the
น้ำตาล
but still gunned
อุ้ย
down by Kilo and Jitboy. Sugar Zero now playing inside of
เป็น
the
น้ำตาล
smoke.
เล่นอะไรวะเอาไว้ยวิ่งไม่ทันเลย
The cape flow in the wind. 10 seconds left.
ทันปะวะ
XDL in a prime
เฮ้ยทันปะวะ
position, but shut down by Jitboy.
Wait, is
เว
there
ลา
time?
ไปกระทืบ
from the
ต้องกระทืบ
shadows over.
ต้องกระทืบ
What's the plan?
ต้องกระทืบ
Find the kill at the
กระทื
very
บ
least, but Sugar Zero now
อ่า
sliding forward over onto the 4K. And a beautiful Red Bull clutch to even up the score.
I mean,
ไม่ทันด้วย
technically,
แต่
if
ต้องก
you
ระทื
think
บ
about
กระทืบ
it,
ก็
he
โดนเขา
doesn't
ส
team
ว
it
น
over, and the round is just won by timed default, right? He kind of gives them a little bit of the chance to maybe even win it at the end
Namtaan
there.
na.
Down to the microseconds.
Oh, dancing around the map, just able to find that one. A lot of trades that come on out, but it's Sugar Zero again, just in his own smokes around the B
จริง
side.
ถ้ามันไม่ต้อง
making it
ถ้า
his
มันไม่
own
วาร์ปมามันก็ชนะอยู่
territory.
ดีเฮียช็อตนี้
He plays with the
แต่แม่ง
heartstrings
โหดจริง
coming on over towards the A site there.
Just ridiculous. And that guy is an S-rank hunter for sure. We do have Primi now with the blades. Talon onto a bit of an eco.
Yeah, another moment when we just need to see somebody go.
อุ้ยไม่เห็น
large
ทำมิ่ง
on
ดีจัด
Talon's side. I don't believe Jitboys was actually just spotted there going for the
สวย
kills. He wasn't. Traded
อ้าว
in the end.
And with nothing else spotted,
แม่งอยู่2ตัว
a bit more information for Zeta.
Yeah, gonna look to play some of the same utility as the last round and get Premi into
ทีมเอ๋อเฮียเข้ามาแบบแห้ง
Maybe you don't expect it a second time.
เล็กต้มยำ
Zeta's protocols,
หม
everyone
ด
hovering around the site. They are
เจอเส้นราเมง
able to receive Talon in full. Primi though, wide swings.
มายังอยู่ยังอยู่ยังอยู่ยังอยู่มาดิ
Collect more hits. It's not gonna happen. Aim can
เจ
only
อ
help
กิม
you
จิ
this much. Cruz now trying to spray and dump the magazine over, but it's not enough.
Yeah, Premi looking for a second bite of the cherry at the end on that one. Just couldn't find it with the blades, unfortunately.
เปลี่ยนของแล้วอยู่ที่เฮียเลย
And these defensive rounds are starting to be gathered by Zeta Division quite nicely. I mean, I'm going to highlight the team is kind of together, right? 10 kills for 2 of the players, 11 kills for the other 2. But there's a member that's going pretty nuclear on this map, a little bit silently, right? Sugar Zero is certainly getting involved in these
ไต่
rounds.
น่าจะต
time
ก
and
อยู่ใน
time
วังวน
again,
นะ
getting a lot of
ที่ไร้ทางออก
multi-frags.
He's been a thorn in Talon's
ตอนนี้
side
ต่าย
with
กำ
how
ลัง
he's
แบบ
repeatedly or
คุยกับตัวเอง
successfully
ในหัว
anchored
อยู่
down
อะ
the B side. And with that now, successful rounds gone over. Zeta
เคย
off
ดู
for a
Venom ไหม
push.
นี่แหละ
Three players with so much
อีกคนนึ
utility
งบอกให้
dumped
ยิง
in.
อีกคนนึงบอกกูยิงไม่ได้
Because this is the moment where 10-10
ยิงแล้ว
falters. And now you can settle, you can call something as Talon
พยายาม
to go together.
Talon happy to cool them off.
No ultimates available for Zeta here.
You know, a little bit more for Talon.
Yeah, and they've still got, you know, an idea on clearing a lot of things. You hear some things happening in mid. You know that the Viper util has more often than not pretty much been towards this A site. My only sort of question on this round
โอ้ย
was going to
บี
be
ดิครับบีดิครับรออะไรบีดิครับ
and leave because you spotted out Sugar Zero, you spotted out Shiota. These controllers can certainly find some things around this A site to force you
เฮ้ยทีม
from
แยก
going
เดี๋ยว
in.
อ่ะทีมทำไมต้องแยกต
Certainly
ลอด
what
เลยวะ
they're trying to do, especially hearing the footsteps towards middle now. Middle smoked off, a bit more presence out from Jit Boys. Cruz
ลุ
kicking
ง
down
ทีม
the
ครับลุง
middle
ทีม
side, the alpha
โอ้
site.
แพ้ว่ะ
Oh, but timing here for Shota. Can he find Primi a little bit later on in the piece? He will. He'll keep him at bay.
ลุงทีมฮะ
Playing it safe. You got that crucial barrier mesh up as well. Now for the
อย่าวัด
Sonic
อย่าวัด
Sensors to get
จ่ายแม่งเลย
deployed. Armageddon to flush Shota away.
เฮ้ยแล้ววอลเฮียเนี่ย
Dive in alongside his teammates.
Rolling Thunder used as well, but look at them, they're stunned up. They can't get out in the side.
Oh, that is just beautiful with how it all combos together. Salvos out in an attempt to create more
แล้ว
space.
เขาเสียอันติด้วยครับ
It's
คุ้ม
still
จัด
blocked
ราวนี้
off.
คุ้มมาก
Cruz now sneaking up from behind.
สวย
Will
ทีม
find
เฮ้ย
his target.
ทีมเบาหน่อยน้อง
Will find the trade,
Ui.
but nonetheless, down to the very end for Thai to even things out.
Yeah, that Rolling Thunder investment to come in there from XDL on the back of getting the kill towards that B side. Not able to get any value out of that, unfortunately. A bit of a humbling moment it might be for Zeta on this defensive side, looking for the controlling garage really early on and not seeing anybody close from the side of Talon. A good adjustment for them to get in towards the A site, where it's again just getting them the time to set up for the post plant. With this composition that they are running, if they're able to get into the post and properly set out a lot of this utility, it can be pretty difficult to get a retake on.
หมวกมันเปิด
That's one of
เห็น
those
ว่าบี
things
โล่ง
that
ไอ้ฝั่งนู้นก็
have to
คิด
be
ว่าน่าจะไปบี
considered
แต่ทีม
for
บอกไม่
a potential future retake, but
เดี๋ยว
at
มัน
least
ก็โร
now
เตทไปบี
currently
เว้ย
all
เรา
classics
โฮ
just trying to find as much advantage
Got
as
it.
possible. The outboard picked up.
Yeah, and it's a very spread default at the moment for the teams too. Don't want to see anybody overreach as
สวย
Talon.
แปะไปก่อนแปะไปก่อนแปะไปก่อน
Want to try and get double digits first. Push us in to that map
See you
3, of
there.
course, for those that may just be joining.
Talon has been playing for the majority part of this second half a really slow pace. Trying to retrieve as much information as possible, especially with that toxic screen.
Another moment where Jit Boys has just kind of been able to freely get up the ramp and find opening in towards
Oh,
this
Jit
A
man.
site.
Still, though,
Jit
gonna
man
watch
die
out
ว่ะ
possibly for XDL, who is currently blocked off by the
จิตว่ะ
cyber
จิต
cage.
ว่ะ
So a
จิ
bit
ต
of an
ว่ะเฮีย
opportunity for
จิต
Jit
มึง
Boys
เหนียว
to
ไอ้
go on
สั
a
ตว์
tear. Second kill
เฮ้ย
found.
เฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ยเฮ้ย
XDL keeping himself
Hey!
concealed. Cover will spring against Cruz. Primi now finding more targets across the map. Spike ultimately planted. Objective
Look
found
at!
by Talon.
นี่ไง
In with a
สัต
blind
ว์มาดิ
sight, but to no avail.
วาง
Jit
เป้า
Boys
คม
holding the
ล้
angle.
ม
Crosshair a little bit way too far upside. But nonetheless, everything.
เฮ้ย
No! XDL! What have you done?
It's okay, hang on.
He's low HP.
Got Thai, who has a flash, who has smokes. He has
Một mưa
TPs
hay
that
mình
can
rồi.
bait.
Still though, creeping forward. Thigh. Nonetheless, with an elevated angle, will simply dispatch of his opponent.
Yeah, I mean, XCL certainly gives that one a crack, right? He used the Rolling Thunder just the round prior, and now he's 2 away from being able to
บอก
grab
เลย
it
เมื่อกี้
and
ถ้า
use
ถ้า
it
ถ้า
again.
แพ้นะไอ้
If
ฟอ
he's
ร์สมัน
somehow
พอ
able
ร์
to
ส
get
แน่
it in a round such as
ลุก
this,
มา
right,
ต
you've
บ
got
เลยอะ
the
ไม่
potential
พูด
of
เลย
just
เฮีย
going for a retake, and then use that to stun up your opponents. You can actually set yourselves up for a pretty good retake.
เมมเลยอะ
You do want to just give the site over to Talon. So there's some options that Zeta have to start to collect upon in the last few rounds of this map.
Still, really impressive plays coming out from Zeta currently. The individual performances so far have been impressive, Komodo.
Operator though for 10-10. Gonna miss its mark for the first show in here.
Nonetheless noted by Talon, so you need to watch out for it. Grafnet into Salvo combo, but
Yeah.
Enten's gone.
And Jet Boy's not able to establish a good lurk this time.
So quickly dealt with Talon now tries to press the issue. Forced out by the Armageddon though, and that's going to be Sugar Zero holding down the line! Double kill as Talon tries to descend in, but it's not going to happen. Just Thigh now. And he's hiding inside of the smokes. Tries to avoid the stealth drone, but lo and behold, 10-10 nearby. Still going to be the kill being found at the very end of it all.
Gorgeous timing on that Armageddon there as well to either force them back towards mid or push them in towards the site, and then you're dropping into a little uncomfortable situation. As I said, Jitboy is not able to establish a
ลุง
lurk
ทีม
there,
กู
so
เมาส์
great little work.
เมาส์แบบไม่เงยขึ้นเลยยิงพื้นเลยอ่ะลงมาถึงพื้นตรงไหนก็อยู่ตรงนั้นเลยครับเป้า
Really chasing 30 in this match.
ยิงพื้นไม่เลย
At the moment, but as we do get tied up at the 10-10 mark, Talon are going to call for their first timeout.
Somewhat needed. It's been a bit of a... Is it really though? I was going to say a bit of a seesaw affair, but given how Zeta has been stringing a couple of rounds together so far in this defensive half, they've been doing a really good job of keeping Talon honest.
Yeah, it's a little reminiscent for how Zeta were going up against T1, where it's not a complete backwards and forwards affair, right? It's a couple of rounds here and there before ultimately that went in towards overtime, and Zeta were able to win that one.
So
for our opening game,
week one.
Yeah, but I kind of put on that series that it was a bit of an open book, right? Because T1 was still running what they were running on Masters. There's a lot of tape that you can start to look at them.
This is a Talon that hasn't played this map since kickoff and in with a new composition as well. So for Zeta to be able to really bring such an even score.
And a different environment as well, right? Because you get more Talon that they're going to be even hungrier to try and catch a win here, to get in towards playoffs. Get some more reps with the new roster as well, and really try to look towards stage 2 as where you want to get your big amounts of damage happening, but you still got the possibilities here. On the back of that timeout now, let's see what depth they do have on this attacking side.
A wee bit of garage control. Stealth drone out towards the middle.
Able to get not too much info, but it did spot out 10-10. So out of dodge. Operator 2.
But that's the other thing about 10-10 is he can go anywhere because of the gate crash.
Yeah, but where do you kind of expect him to go as Talon now, right? If you kind of are able to find him yet again and adjust accordingly, it wouldn't be a bad idea.
So it does take some informed decision making.
Yeah. And you've conceded mid yet again as Zeta, happy enough. As they know you can't plant there. As long as you're pushing where mid leads to in terms of mail, in terms of men, you've also got your wall that you can call as clues to pop up.
I really
assist you.
สวย
spot for him to
ขึ้น2 มาดาบ 2-1 เฮ้ย
he spots the heads and he's playing whack-a-mole.
Yeah, just needs to be careful he doesn't get caught pulling the utility out there as
มึงสะ
well.
กดเป็นไหม
So just making
เหี้
sure
ย
that he's got some timing for the team.
Oh no.
Salvo's used as well.
At this point, Zeta knows exactly where Talon could be.
The problem is the time, Quack. 25 seconds.
เวลาหมดอีกแล้ว
Yikes.
And you got a bit of a trap play here as well.
โอ้โห
Okay, I was gonna say.
ใครไต่ลงนะเหี้ยกูหากากเลยอะ
They've got to push up. The trades will be found, but still,
เวลา
can
หมด
they
แล้
get the spike
ว
down soon enough?
เหี้ย
10-10 buys time and more information,
ได้
crucial
หวานได้หวาน
information for his team. This could be a
เอาส
full
วย
setup.
ทีมไอ้เหี้ย
Crusoe will be able to swing
มันต้อง
back
สแปม
around and
ควัน
just
กันบ้าง
go for
งาน
the
เนี้ย
full spray in towards CT. 10-10 out of the dimensional drift with the up close range. He will find another shot. Just Jitboy's left, and he's completely stunned and blinded up. Zeta will move forward with an 11 scoreline.
It did not feel like that there was too much pressure thrown Zeta's way in that round at all, did it? As soon as Clues is able to find that kill, just watching over, as I said, from any stretch where the mid players might have been able to go, then it's kind of easy pickings for them. 30 seconds to go. A bit of a delayed trap util play in the heavens with the snake bite and the paranoia missing, but Sugar Zero good for one. And then when the dimensional drifts up, yeah, you're trying to stop the plant from going down. It doesn't really work out, but 10-10 is just able to stand and deliver with the operator yet again. A new look to Talon that is, to Zeta Division, which is
All smiles.
quite
โอ้ยมันต้อง
impactful.
ไอ้นี่นี่หว่าเฮีย
Couldn't
เซต้า
agree
มันขึ้น
more. Meanwhile,
2-2 มาเท่าเรา
for Talon,
เนี่ย
though, conversely, this I'm starting to feel
โอ้
very
ย
tense.
ขนลุ
Mate,
ก
you're kind of worried at this juncture right now. A bit of a half buy from them. If they drop it, it's 2 map points and series points to Zeta. And that's Talon's playoffs.
ต้องชนะทีวัน
Hence buying
แม่ง
up.
ง่ายจัด
Quite a bit in this round. Will it pay off though? Talon trying
เอ้า
to possible.
มี
Privy will
มี
capitalize. That could be an open A site now.
โอซาก้าแม่งมีเฮ้ยกระโดดสูงเจอตายโดดสูงไอ้สัตว์งงดิเฮ้ยดิน
Primi trying to dance around, but it's not gonna happen. XDL just collapses on towards a broken Talon. Bent but not broken. Killua tries to fight back, but ultimately knocked out of the round. Zeta reaching series point.
XDL ripping out the Rolling Thunder at the right time, and that has just completely destroyed Talon in the vents. They have been pulled 6 feet under there, and I've got to say, that was a great adjustments call to just quickly come out from them as well, losing 2 players in pretty quick succession. An operator shot missed out. You think in the 4 versus 3, oh, there's an opportunity here for Talon to maybe pilfer away around, but just great utility usage from Zeta, as they will find themselves on map and series point. And I'm expecting the timeout here from Talon. And you need to come out with a great decision for these next 2 rounds here to push us into the overtimes.
ถ้าตกรอบไม่มีอะไรเล่นนะนี่ครับซุปเปอร์ทาวเร็วๆนี้เร็วๆนี้ดูดิโคตรสวยอ่ะ
ตกรอบแล้วไม่มีอะไรเล่นเหรอ
ดูดิโคตรสวยอ่ะ
Meanwhile for Zeta, I mean,
สวยจัดอ่ะ
no offense, right? But is this really Zeta that we're
เอา
looking
ดิ
at
คอร์ด
right
ไปรับ
now?
ไวลิสกันได้นะ
They're
ฮะ
looking so coordinated,
ไป
incredibly sharp, and quick on the reactions as well.
ไป
Yeah, I mean, maybe, just maybe. I'm
เท่จริง
gonna give the man the fuel here, aren't I? Paper thin? What do you know? No, Zeta are performing really well in this series. They have absolutely come prepared, and they are playing with some great elements. From map 1 to map 2 here, some great adjustments, some great calls, not scared in the duels as well, right? Not playing more passive.
เมษานี้
So let's see what Talon have come out with from that timeout. Nothing too aggressive from them. I'm seeing a bit of a shift from Zeta too, by the way. Poison Cloud in mid, where we've seen Talon look to get a lot of control, a lot of information to try and then pivot towards these sites. This time you're not going to be able to do that as easy.
Not to mention just the fact that they've got money, so Zeta happy to investigate a lot of portions on the map.
มันยิงกันดีเหมือนกันนะสำหรับญี่ปุ่นวันนี้แม่งลั่นโอ้เรียบร้อยเจอพี่เทนนี่
They walk into it, it's going to be a punish!
Not tradable, Quack!
Blindside, Primi trying to hide across. It's the fake out, and that's going to be great cover for Tenten if he is to find the second kill.
Yeah, the thing is, Primi not baited out by it now, and in the open angle, sees the gun barrel, but what can you do around this?
Sneaks under. We do have a little bit of a scuffle around the B side as well, though, and that's where the spike is. Primi now falling to
ฝั่งนู้นเอ้ยทำไมมันแยกกันตายวะฝั่งนู้นแม่งไม่มาเข้า A วะพิมมี่ได้แบบหลอมๆอ่ะโอ้จี
planting a little bit shallow as well. The snake bite does give him a bit of an opportunity to sight through, but Shota marking the angle towards the back.
แม่งตีกันทุกทางเลยดูดิ X เนี่ยดู X ขึ้น
But
ดิ
that's gonna be it
ดู
for
X ขึ้นในมินิแมปดิ
Talon currently in this week at least. Zeta
X ขึ้น
looking
ทุกทางเลย
completely reinvigorated. Will send us
จากกันนะครับก็ใครที่ชอบคลิปนะฝากกดไลค์นะครับกด Subscribe นะครับผมก็จะได้เป็นกำลังใจในการทำคลิปต่อๆไปนะครับขอบคุณมากครับ